People were tortured for this. Families were torn apart for it. Whole regions were emptied of people to feed its demand. And today, you barely think about it. Rubber. The soft white sap from a tree most of us will never see. A material that built the modern world and left scars still visible today. How did a simple liquid from the Amazon rainforest turn into a global commodity powerful enough to reshape continents, fuel empires, and cost millions their freedom? Rubber is everywhere. It cushions every car on the road. It seals engines and aircraft. It bridges metal joints. It keeps hospitals running in gloves, tubing, and medical equipment. And it's fundamental to global manufacturing. Without rubber, the bicycle revolution wouldn't have happened. Cars and planes couldn't have transformed the world. Industrialization would have stalled, but its origins were far less bright. Long before it reached factories, rubber began its journey in silence, deep inside the Amazon. For thousands of years, indigenous peoples of the Amazon harvested latex from the Hevea brasiliensis tree, scoring its bark with diagonal cuts and collecting its sap in bowls. They waterproofed fabrics, made balls for games, and created resilient tools and containers. They understood the material long before Europeans discovered it. To Europeans, rubber felt magical. Early experiments turned it into erasers, waterproof coats, and scientific curiosities. But none of these uses prepared the world for what would come next. Because rubber's destiny wasn't shaped in the forest. It was shaped in the factory. By the late 1800s, technology changed everything. The invention of inflatable bicycle tires in the 1880s sent demand through the roof. Suddenly, the world wanted rubber, and lots of it. Then came the car. Tires turned rubber from an interesting material into the backbone of transportation. At the peak, Brazil controlled almost all of the world's natural rubber. The Amazon became the center of a global gold rush economy. Fortunes were made overnight. Cities rose from nothing. But the rush was unstable because the trees grew wild and irregularly. There was no easy way to farm or scale them. The world wanted more rubber. And that pressure opened a door to something far darker. While the Amazon tried to meet demand, half a world away, another source of rubber emerged. Not in plantations, but in terror. In the late 19th century, King Leopold II of Belgium controlled a vast territory in Central Africa known as the Congo Free State. It was a private colony, run not by a government, but by a man. And its purpose was extraction, ivory, and increasingly rubber. Unlike Amazonian trees, which could be tapped, the Congo's rubber came from vines that had to be bled dry. Once a vine was cut, it died. This forced villagers to walk days, then weeks, deeper into the jungle to find fresh supplies. Villages were told to meet quotas or suffer brutal punishments. The Force Publique, Leopold's private army, enforced the system. If villages failed to meet quotas, soldiers burned homes, took hostages, or mutilated people as proof of discipline. Hands were cut off so officers could show they hadn't wasted bullets. Communities were starved and driven off their land.
Families were broken apart.
Millions were displaced or died from violence, starvation, and disease.
Rubber wasn't just a commodity.
It was a weapon of control.
And the wealth extracted from this suffering helped fuel Europe's industrial rise.
As demand grew, the Amazon struggled to keep pace. Disease, distance, and inefficiency slowed production.
Meanwhile, reports of abuses in the Congo spread internationally, exposing the brutal system.
In 1876, an English explorer named Henry Wickham smuggled around 70,000 rubber seeds out of Brazil and shipped them to Kew Gardens in London.
Most never sprouted.
But the ones that did were sent to Ceylon, British Malaya, Singapore, and the Dutch East Indies, where they were cultivated in plantations.
Within a generation, Brazil's rubber economy collapsed. The Amazon boomtowns emptied almost overnight. The world's rubber power shifted to Asia, especially British Malaya, now the center of global production. Rubber built cities and infrastructure across the colonial world. But it also entrenched systems of forced labor and deep economic inequality that still persist today. But as the world prepared for war, it would need rubber for victory.
During World War II, access to rubber became as important as access to oil. When Japan captured much of Southeast Asia, the Allies faced a crisis.
Tanks, aircraft, ships, and vehicles could not function without rubber parts. So scientists raced to develop synthetic rubber, transforming the chemical industry and creating an entirely new global supply chain. But even today, synthetic rubber can't replace natural rubber in all applications, especially in heavy transport and aviation. We are still dependent on plantations. Today, we touch rubber thousands of times without noticing. It's in the tires beneath every road journey. It holds together engines.
It protects medical staff in gloves and masks.
It runs along cables, conveyors, and factory lines. But behind its convenience lies a legacy that is still unresolved. Environmental devastation, deforestation, worker exploitation, and the long shadow of colonial extraction. Rubber built the modern world, but the price was paid in human lives.
If this surprised you, hit subscribe. Share the episode. Comment below, what everyday thing do you want exposed next? Upcoming: containers, concrete, glass, more hidden histories of what builds us.